Through Joseph's side, his lineage went right back to one of the first kings of Israel. Political king, right? Mary's family, on the other hand, came from the priestly caste.
Oh, the priest.
The priest, you know, I forget.
Oh, she was ordained. Or no, she was.
Well, she wasn't. But
not ordained.
No, what I'm saying is,
came from royalty.
Back when they were roaming for 40 years in the desert, right? And then, you know, God gave them the commandments and all that kind of stuff. And what's his name? Moses had a brother who basically was named like the head of all the priestly, the line of priests of the Hebrews, right? So through Mary's side, he was a direct descendant of like the first major priest of the Jews. So Joseph and Mary have a child, and their firstborn child, not only is he entitled to be king, Aaron, exactly. He can also be a religious leader as well as a political leader. Because of his lineage from his mom's side.
Jesus?
Yes.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So, I think that made him a really important person.
Right.
At the time he was born, he was important.
But there was so much corruption that and taking over colonies that it was abolished. But they were fucking blown out.
Because he was conceived out of wedlock, there was a question over whether it was legitimate with him. Fortunately, he came out a boy, so they didn't have to worry about that much. But a lot of people didn't consider him the Messiah because he was conceived out of wedlock.
I get that. I get it because he's like, they're out of wedlock. Like, is he? That's a law, a rule.
So then they have to come up with some ridiculous story about how he was, what's the word I'm looking for? Immaculately conceived, right?
Right.
His mother knew no man before he was born. Yeah.
God's gonna fuck you. God will fuck you. Here, God's sperm.
Business membership program.
You know, my mom was raised Catholic, and she was the one who informed me that, you know, when Catholics talk about the Immaculate Conception, that doesn't refer to the conception of Jesus.
Indoor and outdoor
it refers to the conception of Mary.
Dude, that makes me think of
because she had to be pure and without sin in order to carry Jesus.
Yeah. It makes me want to go on.
So Mary was the immaculate one.
Right, sure. Right. Who knows what child it was from then, if they were in wedlock, bro. Mm-hmm. That's what they were thinking.
So that's why I say there's never been a person on this earth that's been without some kind of falling short.
We're all born into sin.
All of us. Even the Blessed Mother, Virgin Mary. Yep. Virgin Mary.
Right. It's like, it makes me want to pursue my thought into like the non-physical world and versus our physical world, because it's 10% of there's 90% of stuff out there that we don't know now, up to 99.
Oh,
and
more, I'm sure.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, if we think that shit's happening here, and it's got to be, but we are we're in a dimension and we're locked more so in a substructure of slower generation and quicker death, but like these other beings of light, man, that I'm thinking of, it makes me want to just, you know, instead of staying so grounded, but, you know, realize that there's something else out there that it's just kind of blinding you, the stories and things like that, and it's like, dude, these guys have chakras. Me and Justin were talking about it, and he was like, "There's these." I'm like, dude, these are people that have chakras in them, and they have these. It's not this. It's like it's a body, but it's like shingles and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like it sheds into their reality, and they can actually think with their minds and have. You know, we're all born with ego. Well, when they think of those things, it's all a celestial environment, and it'd be a very positive world because they are all sharing their energy, their whatever they're made of. You know, it's weird. Like aliens that have crazy technology. Nikola Tesla said that once we starts exploring the non-physical world and doing more so with those things, then our technology would then increase like 1,000 years in a year. Justin told me that shit the other day. I was like, wow.
What's amazing, I wouldn't be surprised if sometime soon we come up against an unexpected brick wall, so to speak, with the advancement of technology.
Sure.
I mean, there's only so far nanotechnology can go before,
it turns. Yeah, it's got to transverse into some sort of other energies, because the energy can't be killed or destroyed and really changed. And if we have
as far as we know,
other environments to test this technology out in, we're going to find brick walls, and we're going to find other areas and other workarounds for it.
Every new technology we come up with winds up creating unforeseen side effects.
Oh, definitely.
And then we need more technology to fix those.
Yeah.
But then that causes problems.
Well, that's why you need to plan, because there's a system development life cycles. When you build a database,
well, you need to plan.
You got to plan it all out and make sure any errors that or any data type that is redundant, like, needs to be fucking not be, and make sure that the data types are correct and all in place, so they're in their separate categories, and that there's room for other categories to go in there too. That's really big with programming. But yeah, you're definitely right about that.
So anyway, I borrowed my mom's Bible when I was 16 years old and read it from cover to cover. And my eyes were open, and I'm like, wow. Some of this stuff contradicts what I've been taught in Sunday school, or what a lot of these Southern televangelists like to go on and preach at you about, right? It's like, that's not what the Bible says. I have the Bible in front of me right here, and whoa, you're taking liberties.
Wow, yeah.
And most people aren't going to read the whole Bible. They might study in isolation from other things in the Bible. They'll read certain verses that they're told to in church on Sunday, right? But they'll never put it all together. And,
right.
Well,
they're trying to teach the lesson too. If really, like I said earlier, you motherfuckers have every other individual that you're interacting with has ulterior motives. It may not be negative, but they have intentions of doing something, whether it be helping their mindset grow, or helping someone heal from something, or stop doing something, or stop sinning, or whatever. It has to do with, like, the morals, and like what we're doing now moving forward. Like, what are you going to do? Like, make that choice.
What I will say, the teachings that are attributed to Jesus, whether or not Jesus was an actual living, breathing person, or if he's a conglomerate of a number of different teachers over the centuries, right? But I believe he was an actual person.
I do too.
But
I say that to people.
But his teachings, whether or not he was real or not, or whether or not he was perfect or not, his teachings are right on.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think that's cool.
And they're not negated because,
Sure,
he was human.
It was a very positive and turn the other cheek type stuff, and it's very humble, and so that's what I take from it, and it's like, and then him getting killed like that, and if that was if that was a real person, that's pretty fucked up, and if that story is spread throughout time and delivered to us now, it must have been some sort of importance. Whether it's fucking their care for money, their whatever institutionalization, these people want to do this. They want to fucking help they want to raise Jesus. There's all kinds of different ulterior motives. I think we should all make sure to combine and put our minds together and talk about those positive things and continue those things. Important. Like, I'm not a goody two-shoes, like uppity fucking Christian, right? I've seen that. It's like, I don't want to fucking think about or be around those types of people, because they're what it is, it's like they're high in power or something. But yeah, that's cool you said that. And I don't know if I said that to you before or mentioned that. I believe or think that that person was real.
Yeah.
I do. Like, and the teachings. So cool. But then it's still, it makes me want to reach outer, you know?
A lot of the stories concerning him or surrounding him, or like the things the miracles he performed and everything, they may not actually be literal truth,
Right.
but there is a metaphorical meaning behind the story that is true. You
Right.
just have to know what they're trying to tell you.
Yeah. It's super encrypted. It's super encrypted, and that's what makes it kind of interesting in those manners.
It's not lies. It is definitely not lies, but it's not what you think it is on the surface.
Right. Yeah. It's a story. It's lessons, and it's also transcendent information. That kind of thing. But still, then it makes you want to reach out and still reach out and understand other things. I'm sure that God or whatever, the person who's bestowed this information, like when they had that ulterior motive. They wanted to be like, I want you guys to reach further and believe and like keep on being positive.
So I was reading the Bible. God just changed his mind so many times about his chosen people in the Old Testament. Okay, I'm saving you and your descendants. You are my chosen people, and as long as whatever, I watch out for you. But then he gets pissed off at them and tries to wipe most of them out. But then he relents and saves a few of them, and they start to, there's this like back and forth. God is, as a character, God is kind of a wishy-washy, very human kind of character.
Dude, I seen a meme and it said, Satan, God, instructed to kill Cain, or whatever, and all these bad things, murdered all these people, and there's X on Satan and green check mark on God, all these bad things that happened. Satan never did any of those bad things.
Except he wanted to be a god.
True.
When he wasn't. He was just one of the angels.
Sure.
But anyway, my favorite character in the Old Testament, just as far as, reading the story just as a book, right? Reading all of the books of the Bible through. I actually got into David as a character.
Oh, cool.
Moses was pretty cool too.
Yeah, Moses was cool.
But David was my favorite Old Testament character. In the New Testament, well, of course, Jesus is the star.
Right.
But the first three Gospels are almost carbon copies of each other. Same stories, told from a slightly different viewpoint, because a different one of his followers is telling the story, right? And
I gotta smoke some pot with the music.
Yeah, right. At that time in my life, I really did not go for any of this stupid, what I thought was stupid, spiritual, magical, kind of supernatural stuff, right? But I got so bored reading the same stories in the first three books of the New Testament that when I got to the Gospel according to John, which is the one that gets all fucking metaphysical, that was my favorite Gospel.
That's cool. You really looked at it.
Because it was different from the other three.
Right. Yeah, and you really look at that at a weird angle.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Dude, my neck felt so much better after it stopped working like that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. My whole body yesterday and the day before just was crunching all day. It released all of that fucking stress and tension.
Yeah.
Oh. That's interesting. That's cool. So the book of David gets metaphysical.
No, the Gospel according to John.
John.
The fourth Gospel.
So the first three stories are told over and over.
Matthew, Mark, and Luke are the first three. And Mark was written first. I guess the disciple Mark was a physician.
A physician?
Yeah, he's a doctor. And Matthew and Luke were in the circle of immediate followers of Jesus that knew him personally. Now, another thing that gets mentioned in the Bible, in the Gospels, if you read it closely enough, you will see that after Jesus was born, Mary and Joseph had other children.
Oh, wow. Oh.
She did not remain a virgin her whole life. They were married and they had kids.
I did never hear of that.
Right.
That's
You
crazy.
see, the Catholic Church right there is, you know, they're trying to enshrine Mary as something holier than holy. No, she was a woman who was married and had children.
It's crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, Mary Magdalene.
And then there's Mary Magdalene,
Yeah.
who may have actually been the wife of Jesus.
Right, so they didn't know there was that. So that knowledge is obviously there. They knew that. All of them knew it. So that's why they were fucking trying to persecute him. Because he was the fucking king. And they were trying to fucking see if he wasn't the king and kill him.
And the other...
That's why. That's fucking crazy, dude.
The other disciples...
Now I understand.
The other disciples didn't like her. And after Jesus left them, she was kind of run off.
Yeah.
And that's why in the Bible she's written about as if she was a prostitute, right?
Mary Magdalene.
To discredit her.
Yeah.
But they may have actually been married and had kids.
Jesus and her?
After the crucifixion, because he didn't die on the cross.
Right, he was resurrected.
Well, he was taken down before he bled to death.
Right.
And hidden in his uncle's cave.
Yeah.
That cave his body was taken to was actually a family burial plot, right? So he gets taken down off of the cross before the Sabbath begins on Friday evening, and his nurse
Wasn't dead yet.
right, and is someone is secretly taking care of him on the Sabbath, because even though you're not supposed to work on the Sabbath, there are exceptions. Obviously, if you're trying to save someone's life, you don't have to stop doing that for the day. Right. And then on Sunday morning, when his followers went to go see him, and the stone had been rolled away and the body wasn't there,
A severe blood shortage.
because they had
And
moved
healthy
it.
individuals are needed
Yeah.
to donate now to help patients counting on life-saving.
And then he showed up in
Donating is a safe
disguise.
process, and people should
And
not
only I
hesitate
think
to
one
give
person
or receive
kind of
blood.
recognized
You can
him,
learn
you
more
know,
and
but
make an
not
appointment to donate.
really.
Yeah, I've always,
But
yeah.
he went into hiding
1-800 Red Cross.
because, and also he had more learning to do with his religious,
Right.
what he was learning.
Yeah.
So he traveled the world and occasionally came back and secretly only to his followers.
Yeah.
The crucifixion might have been something that he planned himself, just so he could be out of the view of the public. You know?
Wow.
So don't blame the Jews for killing Jesus.
Right. Yeah. I don't have
Or the
any.
Romans.
I don't have any.
You know, Pontius Pilate, the Roman that was in charge of
Yeah.
sentencing him, he was like,
Fucking-
he's done nothing against
Nothing
Rome.
wrong.
He's broken none of our
The
laws.
people wanted him dead. The people and the fucking religious people did.
Give us Barabbas.
Yeah. There's on the passion, huh? No, I remember that. That's
Yeah.
great. That stuff's very cool.
Yeah.
I don't mean to jump up this nice conversation. That's very nice. You just show me all that stuff.
I think you haven't finished yours already, have you?
No, I have not. I'm just wanting to smoke to that fucking reggae music and the cool story, lore you're telling me.
I like to see. I'm into it even more because I've done the reading of the conjecture of what may have actually happened, and I'm like,
Well, I've gone to a lot of church.
it makes my faith even stronger, knowing that hey, this is actually what might have happened.
Right.
You know,
For real. I
stop
get
trying
that.
to brainwash us with
Yeah.
magic. Okay.
Right, it's not like it's not a disappointing thing to know those
Right.
things.
Right.
It's enlightening.
Right.
Very cool.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, after all, at the Last Supper, he announced to the disciples that somebody there in the room at the table was going to turn him into the Roman.
Right.
He had probably picked Judas himself
Right.
to do it.
Right. I'll be right back. Oh crap! I think she's probably sleeping or something.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, she goes to bed early. I mean, between 9 and 10 usually. It's Friday night though, so it's early.
Trying to find a marijuana pipe.
Oh yeah.
I'm about to use one of these cans in here.
Yeah, there's plenty of cans or bottles. Or a bottle wouldn't work. Have you ever smoked out of an apple?
Yeah,
You ever
it's
smoked
not as
out-
good as a can
Hey,
though.
have you ever smoked out of a snowball?
I think one time, a long time ago.
About a year and a half ago. Oh yeah, when it snowed. Yeah, it was probably about a year and a half ago, wasn't it? Around the time we had those 3 snowfalls in a row. I was in Springfield, back in the back area of a bar in Springfield on Main Street, hanging out with this girl I met on the bus. And no one had a pipe, but she scooped up a snowball, packed it.
I hear Justin.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go get a pipe from him, okay?
yeah.
And you did what with it?
And me, I mean,
Yes, I put the snow in the fucking filter, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's cold. It's nice.
yeah.
Broadcasting in HD, this is listener-supported public radio, 91.9 KRVM FM, Eugene, Springfield. Rebroadcast on 92.1 KSYD, Reedsport, 88.5 KAVE, Oak Ridge. Translator K211 BP, Florence at 90.1.
Plus streaming on the internet at krvm.org.
Each generation always thinks less of the generation that follows. With so many generations come and gone, we must have sunk to a very low state. Perhaps our minds are now on permanent vacation. Vacation or reality, now is the time for awakening with real rock and roll. On the Greaser's Garage on 91.9 KRVM. Good evening to you. Welcome to the Greaser's Garage on 91.9 KRVM. I'm Paul Schwartzberg, sometimes known as the world's worst DJ. It's my pleasure to be with you here tonight on the Greaser's Garage, as it is every Friday to be here. Love being here. I had so much fun last week, I almost said I should just end the show. I couldn't do better than I did last week, but heck, I'm back for more. I'm a glutton for punishment. And we started off today with Shock. This generation is on vacation. Pulled that off the punk series Killed by Death. That was from volume 3 of the series. I don't know how many they went up to. The early ones are definitely the best, and I have a few more cuts from different volumes of that series on the program today. But as I said, started off with Shock. Now from volume 4 of Killed by Death, let's go ahead and do one from the Zero Boys, who, after these early releases, like when we're going to hear, they got a little bit more harder, hardcore sound. This is more I call traditional punk, not quite the hardcore that they went to later. But a great song here called A Piece of Me. Dig it here on the Greaser's Garage. little bit of Canadian rock and roll from the mid-'60s there for you here on the Greasers Garage. That's MG and the Escorts here for you, and they were from the Pointe Claire area of Montreal. Maybe that's Pointe Claire, to be more French about it, I guess. That was the second of 4 45 RPM singles that the band released, and it came out on Rio, R-E-O, Rio Records in 1966. Now on to a UK band that was kind of a big part of the rockabilly revival that came out of the UK in the 70s. The band was called the Blue Cats, and this is the title song from, I think it was their second album, called Fight Back.
Fire can burn you. Watch out! The world can turn you. The things that you don't want to do. Now the time has come for you to learn. People can be cruel. Words can smash you and make you feel like you are not the person you once thought you were. 1, 2, 3, fight back, don't let them get you. Fight back, don't let them fool you. Fight back, make a stand, try to make them understand. A rich man, a poor man, why can't they understand? They never will and never die, just like the birds up in the sky. Maybe next Monday the world will crumble, and what will this earth become? Apart from a burning sun, I ask you. Fight back, don't let them get ya. Fight back, don't let them fool ya. Fight back, make a stand, try to make them understand. Be free and let live, and maybe you'll give the people that you both love and hate a new meaning to celebrate their life. Too late to learn, too late to learn. You're too late to learn. You're too late to learn. You're too late to learn. Yeah, you're too late to learn. Yeah, you're too
From the Blue Cats to the Blue Devils. Another UK band, a little instrumental called Vibrations for you here on the Greaser's Garage. Now for a band, came out of the New York no wave scene, maybe one of the most known bands out of the no wave scene. The no wave kind of came out of the punk scene of New York, but they tried to sort of be not part of anything, I guess you could say. A little bit more jazz influenced, as well as just dissonance, and there's still a bit of the punk in there too. It's kind of its own thing, led by a guy named James Chance, and he was kind of a jerk. He did some pretty interesting stuff. This is my favorite one. Overall, it's not my thing, but I like this one. It was produced by Brian Eno, and it came out of an album called No New York, a compilation of no wave bands, and this is called Dish It Out by the Contortions.
I'm having to moderate my Methods of Mayhem group because there's people asking for drugs in there and shit.
Oh, shit.
In my Facebook group. Jeff. Justin's stepdad. Just Jeff. Justin.
Justin and Jeff?
No, Jeff's not there.
Okay.
Justin and his friend Ray just got out of the hospital.
Oh.
Nobody else though.
Okay.
I'm sitting there cross-legged like, he's in pain, like something happened to him.
Oh.
Who is this?
The Contortions.
I got this really cool app, bro. It's called Maki,
Yeah.
and it's got Facebook in it and the Messenger in one app.
Okay.
It's pretty
Good.
cool. So that way I don't have to install two apps and it's small.
Right. Yeah, I refuse to download the Messenger app on my phone. So I only send messages on Facebook when I'm on the laptop.
Yeah, it's a good way to do it. And that's what I do as well, because I don't like Messenger and that shit installed on my phone. But I found this app because it hides from Facebook. It doesn't them know who you are and shit.
Oh.
Dude, I had all these apps and shit in there. I was installing them to like brute force Facebook and shit, like hack other people's accounts and stuff. I'm learning educationally. I'm not doing it to people, but
Right.
I'll do it to myself. And because I'm a white hat developer, and like this app hides it from everyone. It's cool.
Good. It's so funny. Paul, the DJ here, in his introduction to this, says, this is one of those New York no-wave bands, and it's led by James Chance, who's kind of an asshole.
James Chance.
And he says, I don't know if he used that exact word, because after all, it's on the radio, right?
No.
He says, it's not really my kind of thing, but I like this song.
It's kind of interesting.
He's been playing more punk than old rockabilly so far tonight. Nice.
Yeah, he's been playing the reggae too.
Well, no, he doesn't do reggae.
Earlier.
No, it's different DJ. Different show. This is the Greaser's Garage.
Oh, cool.
Starting at 9.
I had a bunch of chips and salsa today, and fucking this really good. It was spinach dip with black beans in it. Good, man. I only had like one bite of it though, but it was like, god damn, it's so good.
Well, I can tell you, man, I know that in the next 20 or 30 years I'm going to be dying of some crazy form of cancer because I like spinach too much. You know, when they had that meltdown at the nuclear power plant in Japan after the tsunami?
Yeah.
The way they
leaking.
were...
They're still leaking.
Yeah, they don't even bother to tell. Even the people who were purposely monitoring it don't even report about it anymore.
Well, they're reporting how much is leaking.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you look for it, you might find current reports, but it's not coming out in the general news anymore. But anyway, the radiation that they were detecting, the kinds of radiation, or the particular compound or whatever, the things it pops up in first, milk and spinach. So, you know, it was coming over and getting rained on the northwest, and if you eat spinach from the northwest or drink milk from the northwest, you're probably going to get some of that radiation.
There's a band called the Crescents.
Oh, damn.
The little instrumental called
right, huh?
Pink Dominoes came out. little bit of raw doo-wop here for you from the Versatones. Billa, the name of that one for you here on the Greases Garage. Now, band, I think they're from Florida. Eat is the name of the band, and darn it all, Commies. Yeah, Commies. Darn those Commies. Communist Radio, the name of this one here for you. Once again, off the Killed by Death series. This is from Volume 2. From a compilation of some more modern era Texas garage bands, there's a band called the Hormones. I Can't Sleep. And from the Hormones over to Buddy and the Hearts. They're doing a Chuck Berry cover, Let It Rock, that they released on Stateside Records in 1964.
all done. Well, in the evening when the sun is sinking low, all day I've been waiting for the whistle to blow. Sitting in a teepee built right on the track, rolling them bones till the foreman come back. Pick up your belongings, boys, scatter about. We got an off-schedule train coming 10 miles out.
Big thanks going out to Annie Porterfield of Eugene, as well as Jerry and Linda Dean of North Bend. They are supporting listeners. And so they know that music worth listening to is music worth supporting. And so they became supporting listeners and help us keep real variety in music.
KRVM wishes to thank the following for their support of this station through our business membership program.
Checkmark Painting, online at checkmarkpainting.com. Pasta Plus, pasta and pesto, available in groceries up and down I-5 from Ashland to Portland.
6 long hours just sitting in school. The complicated books make me feel like a fool. Chickens in your coop make a man want to shout. Bells start ringing and school turns out, then you scream. Come here, my queen, we're gonna run, have some fun. And everybody knows when you start to rock, the life begins at the 4 o'clock. Sip 2 straws with the soda in between, clapping your hands to the record machine. Chicken coop now seems a million miles away, and nobody heard of what the teacher had to say. And then you scream, come here, my queen, we're gonna dance, make romance. And everybody knows when you start to rock, the life begins at 4 o'clock. Yeah! Dancing with your queen till you run out of breath. Looking at your watch, staring after death. Run your baby home, barely make it in time. The 4 o'clock come already on your mind, and you scream, come here, my queen, we're gonna run, have some fun. Cause everybody knows when you start to rock, the life begins at 4 o'clock. Dancing with your queen till you run out of breath. Looking at your watch, your man after death. Run your baby home, barely make it in time. The 4 o'clock tomorrow, ready on your mind, and then you scream, come here, my queen, we're gonna run, have some fun. Cause everybody knows when you start to rock, the night begins at 4 o'clock.
Some rockabilly off the Challenge record label. Bobby Milano, the name of the cat there. Life begins at 4 o'clock. Now on to the New Breed, a band from Worcester, Massachusetts. Released this one on Polaris Records in August '66. Once again, the New Breed, and a little something called Wasting My Time for you here on the Greaser's Garage, 91.9 KRVM.
She would run around. You don't learn everything in school that you do to your life. You better smarten up, you better think twice about your ways of life. But to me, you're just wasting my time. Cause that I love to do things like play, she could shake any old way. Now I found out she wanted mine because she just wasting my time. Forget about herself in the way of running around. Little did she know that one day they'd all bring her down. The time would come when she would see just how wrong she was treating me. Right on now, I can only say that she just wasted my time. She just wasted my time. She just wasted my time.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Get on your knees. Get on your knees. Yeah, please. I'll take you back. I'll take you back now. I'll take you back. I wanna try it once more. If you, please, let me say, please. Come on and get on your knees, baby. Get on your knees and please, 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 please. I took you back once. I took you back once. I took you back twice. I tried you once more. You left again. Now you pay the price. I'll take you back. Take you back now. I'll take you back. I wanna try it once more. If you please, let me say please, please. Come on and get on your knees, baby. Get on your knees and please, 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 please. Well, now I swallowed my pride, almost too much, just so I could feel to your touch. Oh, baby, baby, now get down and bass, like it never knew how. I took you back once. I took you back once. I took you back twice. I tried you again. You left again. Now you pay the price. I take you back. I wanna take you back now. I'll take you back. I wanna try you once more. If you please, let me say please. Come on and get on your knees, baby. Get on your knees and please. Let me say please, please, please. Come on, please. Come on, come on, come on, please. All right now. All right now. Oh yeah. Come on, please, please, let me say.
Paul Schwartzberg with you here on the Greaser's Garage. That was Goldie and the Gingerbreads, a band that released several major label 45s, but they never rose to fame. That one in particular came out on Decca Records in 1965. Please, the name of that one. And they were an all-female band. In fact, they were the first all-female band signed to a major label. First Decca, as I said, and then Atlantic. They had 8 singles total, but as I said, you've been probably hearing Goldie and the Gingerbreads for the first time here today on the Greaser's Garage. Now back to our old friends, Unknown Group. This is a particular unknown group, is from somewhere USA. Where that is, don't know. They know the name of the song, When I Feel Better, but beyond that, band is lost. Enjoy it. I guess that is what the band Matt Hole and the Hot Rod Gang felt summed up their feelings about being from Texas in an instrumental, because it was called We're From Texas.
The Willamette Lane Volunteer Program is shifting its focus to support the community during the current COVID-19 public health crisis. They are seeking volunteers to help make masks and surgical scrub hats for nurses at Mackenzie Willamette and other area hospitals and nursing centers. If you have sewing and or crocheting skills and have the time to contribute, they would like to hear from you. They're also in need of donations of fabric and elastic to support this project. Willamette Lane will coordinate all donations and distribution of the masks. More information can be found under the What's Happening tab at krvm.org.
Support for KRVM from Off the Waffle, with 2 locations on Willamette Street. Off the Waffle is a family-owned and operated local business that specializes in preparing authentic Liege waffles using consciously sourced organic local ingredients. Off the Waffle uses 100% organic flour, eggs, and milk, and is currently still open for takeout and delivery. Open daily from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Funds for KRVM by Capella Market, a neighborhood grocer featuring a variety of natural foods and chemical-free meats. Capella Market offers a full-service deli, a wide selection of beer and wines brewed and vinted, both locally and from around the world. Capella Market in South Eugene at the corner of Willamette and 25th, open 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. daily.
Let's squeeze in a few more as we get to the conclusion of the first hour of the Greaser's Garage here on 91.9 KRVM. Here's one from a band called the Nobodies. They were Jeff Useless, JJ Nobody, Justin Disease, and Randy the Kid. I'm sure those are all their real names, and they've got a problem. They've been kicked out.
I didn't realize, dude. I'm actually streaming right now. I was picking up the music and I like busted out my Sketch Squad. And I'm like, oh fuck, I'm live. And I'm on this phone. I'm like, oh, this fucking Carl's room. Whoops. But I was playing video games on it. But it's been streaming the music.
This?
Yes.
A few seconds off.
Yeah. Well, always when it uploads and then it plays back, it's always off. But it's never in sync except for like Mixer. They've got real-time streaming.
Yeah.
The new technology.
I'd still rather be listening to it on the radio, but
Yeah, right.
I don't have my cord.
That's gotta be here, man.
Yeah, it's
Gotta be here.
somewhere. But I don't know if you're in the mood to go get more beer.
10 o'clock. Oh,
10? It's 10 already?
yeah.
9:58? Man, he's playing some kick-ass fucking shit right now.
I just got a text from Todd.
Yeah.
He said something about hamburgers.
Oh.
Yeah, so maybe if we bring beer over there.
Yeah.
He's there. He had some visitation today. I was taking naps, sitting in a chair all day, fucking watching him play Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting storyline.
Yeah.
You know, Mario and Luigi.
Oh, yeah.
Luigi's got a game called Luigi's Mansion now,
Oh.
and it's number 3.
Wow.
And it's a cool story because he goes to the mansion and like it's very cool. Gets ghosts and like sucks them up.
Okay.
Cool.
Kind of like Ghostbusters.
Kind of.
So he doesn't have to go rescue a damsel in distress from a giant ape.
Right. Well, first it was a giant ape. Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
But then it was King Koopa. King Koopa after that.
Oh.
When in the first stages of Mario, it was the Donkey Kong.
It was?
Yeah. Because it's a girl and the monkey, and it's gorilla, right? Or
Yeah,
Godzilla.
Donkey Kong Jr.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, once you start getting Mario Brothers and Super Mario Brothers.
I just got an email back from the fucking cannabis guys. Yeah.
You gotta love it when like the sequels are actually better than the original.
Yeah, that wasn't the case for some movies like Bill and Ted.
I'm talking about video games.
Oh yeah.
I remember when I first heard about Ms. Pac-Man, I was like, oh please.
Right.
But fuck yeah, Ms. Pac-Man was an improvement.
Pac-Man. You want to see some Pac-Man, bro?
Junior Pac-Man. Okay, hold on. I want to know what this is.
It's a song I first heard from New York punk band The Devil Dogs, but this is the original there. The Fun Things, Time Enough for Love. They're an Australian band playing in kind of the early days of Australian punk rock and pretty primo stuff there. Let's conclude the hour here with one from the Rolling Stones. Now, coming up soon on Abco Records, they're going to be re-releasing a whole bunch of Rolling Stone stuff. Now, all of the early Rolling Stone stuff that they did in the 60s was originally recorded in mono, but since the digital age, it was kind of converted to stereo. They haven't been heard in mono for a long time, unless you got the old records like I do. But they're going to re-release everything in mono. Every single album, both US and UK versions of all the albums the Stones put out in the 60s, right up to 69 and Let It Bleed. And so I thought I'd pull one out of the stuff that's going to be coming out. We got a little advanced pressing of some of the songs here at KRVM. So I thought I'd go real early when they were still doing kind of Chuck Berry and other earlier blues songs and such. So here's the Rolling Stones in mono on Down the Road a Piece.
This phone sucks for doing it because it's not rooted and overclocked, so it's janky.
Fucking rock and roll, man.
get your bill. A shove ass day like a old steam drill. Come on along, you can lose your lead. Down the road, down the road, down the road it beats.
We got Frogger as well in there.
Yeah. Frogger. You remember that episode of Seinfeld?
Oh, no. Yes. Oh shit, they want me to come for an onboarding interview tomorrow for the cultivator. Yeah.
Boogie Woogie.
Interview for what?
I'm sorry?
Interview for what?
For cannabis cultivator.
Cool.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Alright.
Yep.
You turn down a little bit. I'm going to bed.
Sorry I'm loud.
You knew I was going to ask.
I apologize.
Why else would you open the door?
You want to smoke some pot?
I'm going to bed.
Okay. I don't have a pipe. Can I borrow your pipe?
Public Radio, 91.9 KR.
Okay, I'm coming.
That was man, that was awesome. The Rolling Stones.
KAVE Oak Ridge. Translator K211 BP Florence at 90.1.
Plus streaming on the internet at krvm.org.
Yeah, hear you tomorrow, bro.
He doesn't play the Stones very often, man. That fuck, that was good. In mono.
This music's been tight tonight. I've been listening to it on the phone out there for time was up.
And what does he follow up the Rolling Stones with? Fucking
Punk.
Black Flag.
Onboarding interview. That means I get the job. Fuck yes. Cultivator with the Anthos group. Oh, I think that's a left roll.
I never saw Black Flag in concert, but I did see the Rollins band once. They were the opening, they were the first band at the first Lollapalooza tour when it hit Raleigh. So yeah, I saw the Rollins band that day.
It's awesome.
I wasn't even,
Henry Rollins go.
when I drove to Raleigh that day, I wasn't even planning on going to the show. And then the band that followed them was the Butthole Surfers. And I couldn't get the guy standing next to me to shut up while the Surfers were playing.
Probably would have been me.
Well, I probably would have walked out of the place in a daze if I had been able to actually like listen to them. And I wouldn't have come back in because it would have made me pay to get back in.
Some classic Black Flag off the Damaged album. Rise Above, first song of that album, was just a tour de force of Black Flag, just as Henry Rollins was joining that band. Now over to some more Australian punk rock. This is a band called The Rocks, who had several songs they put out. I like them all. And this one's called Kick Her Out.
that would have been blown if I had been not allowed back in after only 2 bands played. I would have missed Ice-T, and the second half of his set was with Body Count.
Oh, sick.
A year before the first Body Count album came out.
How's this sound, man? Let me change the subject. I said, I'm free for afternoon. Great. I said, I'm however in Eugene. Is there a way to accommodate? Are you in Lowell? I'm also privy to apprenticing or consulting. I have experience in home cultivation. Experience with in-home.
Okay.
Right in the center?
This is Australian.
The butthole surfers. Dude.
Fuck yeah. I mean, that was a great lineup on
Weird, I was thinking about that.
On that first Lollapalooza tour. That was a great lineup. Jane's Addiction headlining. Because after all, their lead singer was the guy who put the whole tour together.
Yeah, he wants me to work. He's like, if you'd like to work tomorrow, you can meet me earlier. It's like pretty much got the job.
You got it. Susie and the Banshee.
Just gotta figure out if it's in Lowell or not.
Living Color. Ice-T solo end with Body Count. Who was the fifth, the middle band in there? Living Color. Most of my friends that were there were like the least interested in hearing Living Color.
In Living Color?
They surprised? No, Living Color.
Living Color, right. Let me reply here to Will.
Okay. Surf rock. Pretty damn good surf rock, but you know what? Surf rock bands are a dime a dozen. Time to go take a peek. But listen when he says who it is so you can tell me.
Small record label in Wisconsin called Cuca Records released a whole bunch of stuff in the late 50s and mid 60s, a lot of instrumentals, and taken from a compilation called Elemental Instrumentals that released pretty much all the instrumentals released on Cuca Records by Ace Records in 2005, and Ace, the re-release label. And here's one from that album, was by the Monterey's Rocker, released by Cuca in 1959. I really enjoyed that one. And there's a whole lot of other really good stuff on that compilation, and we'll probably be bringing some, more songs to you from that one here and there. Now over to the UK live track from a band called The Discords and a song called Second to No One.
Now who is this? You weren't listening, were you?
Yeah, I heard it, but it passed my mind.
And that last band, who was that? Did you hear?
You can rewind a little bit, eh?
No, this is a live stream.
Oh, you can't actually